Good morning, friends! Happy Tuesday! And I said good morning, g, is our letter of the day. We're celebrating the letter G today. So let's sing the Good Morning Train so we can help to celebrate and get everything started with the letter G. All right, here we go. The good morning train is coming, how are you? The good morning train is coming, how are you? The good morning train is coming, the good morning train is coming, the good morning train is coming, how are you? And we'll say hello to Kai, how are you? And we'll say hello to Julia, how are you? And we'll say hello to Clara, and we'll say hello to Rana, and we'll say hello to Ellie, how are you? And we'll say hello to Jackson, how are you? And we'll say hello to Sky, how are you? And we'll say hello to Sela, and we'll say hello to Sarah, and we'll say hello to Nolan, how are you? And we'll say hello to Isaiah, how are you? And we'll say hello to Charlotte, how are you? And we'll say hello to Abby, and we'll say hello to Claire M, and we'll say hello to Robbie, how are you? And we'll say hello to Brielle, how are you? And we'll say hello to Stone, how are you? And we'll say hello to William, and we'll say hello to Ryan, and we'll say hello to Anya, how are you? And we'll say hello to Missy, how are you? And we'll say hello to Miss Kuhn, how are you? And we'll say hello to Mrs. Lambert, and we'll say hello to everyone, and we're gonna have a great day, how are you? And great day, so great starts with a G as well. So friends, today our letter is G, and G says G, G. Sometimes, very few times, a G can say a J sound, but that's not very common. Usually it says G. So let's just review how to make a G. So when we make a G, we of course start our letter at the top. We talk about this every time. And we start by making a C when we make a capital G. So watch like this. It goes around like this. And then the capital G has the line across like this. And that is a capital G. So it's made of a curved line and then a straight line. And then a lowercase g is made up of only curved lines. So the first one, you make an O or a circle shape like this. And then it's going to hang down. So your next line goes down and around. It's like doing a J attached to the circle. Okay? So that's your capital G and that's your lowercase g. And they say G, G. So I have a book right here that starts with a G sound called The Giving Tree. And I wonder if you've ever heard this story before. Let me just turn so you can see. Here we go. So The Giving Tree. And the author is Shel Silverstein, and that's him there. He writes a lot of really great poetry books that your parents probably read when they were little, because he writes really funny little poems. Okay, so let's read this book called The Giving Tree. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. See the little boy coming? And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And then when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. That boy loved that tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by. And here, I don't know if you can see, it says me plus T. So I think that stands for like me plus tree, because he loved that tree. But time went by, and the boy grew older. And the tree was often alone. And one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and play up on my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I'm too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up on the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. The tree likes helping the boy, right? But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy and said, "Come, boy, come up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children and I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. He's taking a lot away from that giving tree, isn't he? But the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree, "and then you can sail away and be happy." So the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I'm too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I'm too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. So friends, did you notice that the tree kept giving the boy everything he needed as he got older? And I think that's pretty sweet that the tree just kept on giving. All right, so giving starts with the letter G. And so I was also trying to think of an animal that starts with the letter G. And I came up with one, and it's the animal we learned about way back in February when there was a special day dedicated to him. Do you remember what animal that is? The groundhog. And you guys know I love Groundhog Day. We were online last Groundhog Day, and we did some activities, and I did have my groundhog puppet, right? Because I do love him so much, and we read some books about Groundhog Day, and we also did some poems. So I thought we could maybe revisit the poems that I taught you back then, and maybe you'll remember some of them. We'll have to wait and see. So here's a little groundhog, furry and brown. He's coming up to look all around. If he sees his shadow, down he goes for 6 more weeks of winter snow. Friends, if you remember back in February, it was still winter time, and it's a little tale where they say that groundhogs can predict the weather. And remember, if he came out of his burrow and he saw his shadow, he'd be really scared and he'd run back inside, and then it would be a long winter. But if he came up and he didn't see his shadow, then it wouldn't be a long winter, because he'd get up and he'd run and he'd play. And we know that that's just kind of a fun little story to tell, but we always celebrate that in February. Okay, I have a song about the groundhog too. Let's see if you remember this one. I'm a little groundhog, furry and brown. When winter comes, I sleep underground. I'm all curled up as cozy as can be. When it's spring, please wake up me. All right, and now you might see some groundhogs because groundhogs are not hibernating anymore. It's beautiful outside. They have come out of hibernation, and you never know, you might get lucky and see a groundhog scurrying around at some point. All right, so I have got one more book that I thought we could read, and it's about another animal that starts with a G. This one is one that actually for Pet Day, for Animal Day when we celebrated A, somebody showed, I think it was Anya, showed us a fish. And a fish does not start with a G. Fish starts with an F. But this type of fish starts with a G. Can you think of a fish that starts with a G? And it can be a pet. This type of fish is something that some people have. I don't know if any of you have it. But it's a goldfish. And so this book is called Memoirs of a Goldfish, and it's about this goldfish that lives in a fish bowl. So let's see what he is all about. So here's our title page, Memoirs of a Goldfish, and the author is Devin Cillian. Oh, look at that first picture. Day 1, I swam around my bowl. Day 2, I swam around my bowl twice. Day 3, I swam around my bowl. I thought about taking a nap, but fish don't sleep. So I swam around my bowl. Day 4, I got some company today. I don't like the looks of him one bit. He doesn't say anything. He just bubbles. Look, they put a decoration in his fish bowl. Day 5, Mr. Bubbles hasn't said a word. He just looks at me, and I said hello today, and he just said, "Glug." He's creepy. Day 6, today my bowl looks like a garden. There are a bunch of plants in here now. I guess I'll have to water them. Great. Friends, that's kind of funny. Obviously, he wouldn't have to water those plants. He lives in a fish bowl. Mr. Bubbles and I now have company. Oh, sorry, day 7. Mr. Bubbles and I now have company. He's a snail. He says his name is Mervin and he likes to eat the slime off the inside of my bowl. He's disgusting. Day 8. Things are getting very crowded. While watering the plants, I met a crab named Fred. I offered him my fin and he nearly cut it off. Even Mr. Bubbles is afraid of him. Fred says I should stay on my side of the bowl. Look, I said, the whole bowl is my side of the bowl. He snapped his claw and Mervin fainted. I've got to get out of here. That fish bowl's looking pretty crowded. Day 9. That does it. My bowl now contains a sunken pirate ship, 2 guppies named Rhoda and Clark, an angelfish named Cha-Cha, who says she's from Hollywood. I can't turn around without bumping into something. At least Mervin is happy. There's more gunk on the side of the bowl every day. Oh, look how squished he looks up there. Day 10, this is ridiculous. I was trying to find room for a swim today when Rhoda and Clark told me they're going to have babies soon. Like there's room for that. Fred knocked Mr. Bubbles over and he became tangled in the plants. Cha-Cha said she couldn't help with Mr. Bubbles but needed me to apply her sunscreen. The sides of the bowl are covered in slime and Mervin says he's too full to eat any more. Yuck! Day 11. I am a nervous wreck. I'm trying to avoid Fred. I turned around quickly this morning and came face to face with my reflection in a mirror. I nearly jumped out of my gills. I don't even look like myself anymore. I need to relax. Day 12. I have had it. Rhoda and Clark were racing around the bowl. Fred was fighting with Mr. Bubbles. Mervin kept belching, and Cha-Cha told me I was standing in her light. I just lost it. "This is my bowl!" I screamed. "I want my bowl back!" Day 13. Today I got my wish. Sort of. With a swoosh and a splash and a clank and a plunge, I was suddenly in a very tiny bowl of clear, pure water. It was a bit small, but it was all mine. It was heavenly. I swam around my new bowl twice. But I started to wonder what had happened to everyone. When I last saw Mr. Bubbles, he was tangled in green. Who would help him? Poor Mervyn was probably sick as a dogfish. He needs me. Cha-Cha will get a sunburn without me around. What about Rhoda and Clark? Did Rhoda have her baby guppies? There are probably 1,000 of them. They need me to make guppy bottles and change guppy diapers. Even Fred needs me. I'm the only one who can really talk to the crabby guy. Have they even noticed I'm gone? Does anyone miss me? He started to cry. That's not easy for a fish to do. Day 14. After a long, sad night, there was a whoosh and a splash and a clink and a plunge, and I was suddenly sprayed in the face by Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles gurgled a happy tune. Rhoda and Clark raced by me like 2 speedboats, followed by 12 of the cutest baby guppies I'd ever seen. Mervyn waved his tail at me from the nice, clean glass of our enormous tank. Cha-Cha sat happily beneath an umbrella. I think even Fred missed me. Do you see what they're in now, friends? It's not a fishbowl anymore. We're all back together, and I looked around and realized I was part of a big family. I guess I must have smiled because Clark said, "You look happy." I wanted to see for myself. "Where's the mirror?" I asked. "What mirror?" asked Clark. "We don't have a mirror," said Fred. "No mirror? No wonder I didn't look like myself. It wasn't me I was seeing." Her name was Gracie, and she's the color of a fresh tangerine. She's a Pisces just like me, and today we're going to swim around the tank together. Twice. Aw, look at them. I love that book, friends. So they went into a bigger aquarium by the end of the book, and I think they would have been a lot happier to have a lot more space, right? All right, so I want to remind you that Miss L has some activities for you on our D2L page. So this circle time is almost over, and you can go check out what she has left for you to do. And it's time to say goodbye. Are you ready to sing with me? See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Be sweet, parakeet. Give a hug, ladybug. See you soon, raccoon, out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Blow a kiss, goldfish. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow. What letter comes after G? Can you figure that out? That's what we're going to celebrate tomorrow. Okay, bye.